In this video, I'm going to be showing you a way that I've been using a web browser to provide video feedback for my students. So we've been using some tablets, and to create a paperless workflow, we've been using the app Dropbox. So it allows me to create a shared folder between my personal account and a generic account that is on the tablets for the students to use. Now what we do is we put files in a PDF format for my students to then open up on their tablets and then annotate over the top. When they're done, they're able to export it as a JPEG file to their Dropbox account. So for this example, I'm going to open up this folder here called PDF example. You can see I've added myself just to kind of show you this whole process. You can see here would be an example of a completed assignment that I need to provide some feedback to this student who completed this. You can see I have the folder here that says 0 feedback. I put a 0 there just so it's always at the top and easy for them to find in their own folders. But that's also where I'll save any other video feedback, and they've also been taught to kind of check this video feedback each morning when we start our morning opening. Our routine is that they'll come and make their lunch choices, hand some stuff in, and then grab their tablets. In the first couple of minutes of school, they'll go ahead and check that video feedback. Those of them that don't have any feedback can go ahead with our the rest of the morning opening process, but most of the video feedbacks only take a couple minutes for them to watch. So what I actually do to create that video feedback is I'll open up the file on the computer like I'm going to do right here. So once it's open, you can see here it's not really big, so it might be kind of hard for students to see, but it does give you the option down here at the bottom with the 3 dots to go ahead and view the original, which will give you the full size and also allow you to zoom in. So you can see here at this point I can go ahead and I can point out what things I might want this student to change. So the next step is to actually enable a screen recording tool that I use that is called TechSmith Snagit. Now normally it's just a screen capture extension for Chrome, but they recently released the option to create screen recordings. Now the reason that I chose this option is that it actually lets me directly save to Google Drive. So with that being said, what I'm able to do then is open up this file that I need to annotate, or sorry, I should say, provide video feedback to my students about. And then what I have to actually do is I can't click this little icon up at the top for the TechSmith Snagit because it'll actually just do a screen capture. And I don't want to do a screen capture. What I want to actually do is do a screen recording. So to do that, I need to actually open up TechSmith Snagit screen recording tool. You can see here that I can create a new screen recording. So it'll ask me if I want to share. So I'll go ahead and click yes. So with that being a recording now, you can't really see it. Let me see if I can drag this icon up. So you can see at the very bottom of the screen, it gives me the option to stop sharing. But this will allow me then, it's recording everything that I'm talking about as well as anything that I wanted to point out. So if I said, so number 5, singular plural, 2 feet need 2 boots. So instead of saying ES, we need to make sure that boots, with this example, we're just adding an S at the end to make it in the plural form. So I could continue to go on and talk about each of these that I might want the student to pay extra close attention to the next time that they complete the assignment, or just to kind of refresh their memory about some of the things that we've been learning about in class. But when I'm done providing that video feedback, what I would do is I would click stop sharing. When it's done stop sharing, I can then choose. You can see it's going to go ahead and load this across. So as it's loading, let me tell you a little bit about this next step. So what would be nice is if we used Google Drive as our cloud storage workflow solution that we would use to go paperless in the classroom. However, we're using Dropbox because Dropbox is allowing us to import a lot of the files we need into a lot of the apps that we use on the tablets, whereas Google Drive doesn't allow you to import a lot of the stuff into the apps that we're using. So that's kind of why we use Dropbox. What I'll have to do now as this saves into my Google Drive, what it then allows me to do is I'll have to actually upload it back into Dropbox, but it does provide a quick, easy way to do a quick screencast or screen recording over some of the stuff that you would like your student to pay close attention to on some of the assignments that they submitted, which will then provide you some more time to work with other students while your students are checking their feedback. So you got the option down here, I can share. You can see Google Drive or YouTube, so we'll click Google Drive. So it's also, it'll copy that URL if I wanted, or it's actually automatically part of this extension so that it automatically saves to Google Drive. So what that would require me to do now is I've gone ahead and provided the video feedback. So now I can go back into this feedback folder, and what I would then do is I would actually choose to upload a file, and I would choose that file from Google Drive. So I would go ahead and choose that Google Drive, and I would find that TechSmith folder, and you can see it'll take a little bit for that to add into here, but we'll just use this one. We'll go ahead and open that one up, and we'll choose that as the feedback file. So you can see that file is loading in, and as it is loading in, eventually what will show up here would be that video file that shows that feedback that I just created. So then that student would then, like I mentioned earlier, go in and start their morning off by checking their feedback folder. If they didn't have anything, they would then go on to their rest of their morning opening. If they had the feedback file in there, they would just go ahead, watch that video quick, and see what they need to make sure that they pay attention to as they complete the assignments, and then they would be able to continue their morning opening. So you can see there the file just popped up. So the student would click on that icon and then go through and listen to the video feedback that I just provided them. So again, that's just a way that we've been using Dropbox for paperless workflow, and then also this process is what I've been doing to provide some video feedback for my students.